Yep. Excuse me. How y'all doing out there in YouTube land? It's your boy, a man called Falk out here. Sorry for the delay. Had to do a reset on my phone. You know how that goes. So, got to get a few things off my chest since a lot of motherfuckers got a lot of shit to say. But one thing we actually find out in life that most people are fucking wrong. So, wait till a few more people get in the damn string, get in the lobby. Too many conversations are had by people who don't know shit, people who suspect shit. And this is the reason why we all become making asses of ourselves. Too long and too hard, we make asses of ourselves. But then you get mad and upset when a nigga tells you the truth. My friends. I myself is getting pissed off with that one. Even with my closest friends, sometimes I'll be like, yo, I can't talk to you about shit because you're too fucking emotional. Honestly. Well, you're bitter. Fuck, I gotta be bitter about. I'm starting to believe the average black man acts just like worse than the black woman. You're bitter. You're using the same talking points. But these are the same motherfuckers who, in godless marriages, the next thing you know, they're whining about shit. You're not happy because you don't have any power. I've always said this to people. Just because you don't like what I say doesn't make it any less true. See, black people worry about the delivery, and that's what your biggest problem is. You worrying on how somebody delivered to you that you're still a slave, you're still ignorant. As long as they say it in a nice way, I'm going to vote for them. And you wonder why you're at the bottom of the totem pole. You wonder why power eludes you because you're always waiting for people to say something nicely. But when there's a time to get shit done, and there's a time to basically sound the drums of war, what are you doing? You can't even operate on a legitimate level. You hate black women. No, I don't. And you know it's funny. One of my homeboys pulled this little bullshit trope out of his ass. And the trope was, oh, your mama's black. I'm not trying to get nor sleep with my mother. I'm not trying to marry my mother. I'm not on no redneck shit. A lot of people in the black community look at their mothers as holier than thou. And a lot of times she could be the cause of a lot of the heartache you go through for the last 2 to 3 generations. What about black men? And then my own girl, what about black men? See, the world does not allow black men not to recognize the shit that's wrong with them. You keep thinking that every time there's something good about the black community, you chicks own it. We're the most educated. We're the most going to college. We're the most this, that, and the fourth. But if it's a statistic that negatively affects the community, it's all of us. Pick a struggle. But yet, most of the statistics that you hear about black men are false. Black men don't like to raise their kids. Black men don't like to do this. See, I'm getting kind of pissed off because people having these bullshit narratives don't know what shit to talk about, and they make these little bullshit gestures. Please, if you ever come on my panel, please do not ever tell me my mother's black. I have the same fucking complexion as my mother. I kind of knew that for almost 40 years. I kind of know that. That's the equivalent of me saying, your tire's flat when you have a fucking tire. That's not solving the problem. You want to alleviate and say that we're going through the same shit when we're not. What's up, Chaos?
What's good? How you doing? What's good, everybody? How you doing? Hey, did you catch my Well, actually, did you catch the stream that was done by Zero N's channel?
I listened to some of it, but then
All
I
right,
had to
cool.
do a I had to
Cool.
do a reset.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. He actually talked about this. He got to the part with the black woman myth, the two sections, and it's ironic that you know for men to really have any grip with the black woman, you got to be over domineering. Because this chick has been groomed since the inception to be just dominant. Like, really. They're not dominant to that non black man, but to us, whew, all
That's
day,
because
every day.
that's because they're the foreman of the fucking slave house.
Mm-hmm.
I said it like this. You know what? Let's tell the fucking truth. I don't give a fuck if I anger people. I don't give a fuck if I ruffle feathers. Let's tell the
Mm-hmm.
fucking truth. Number one, a lot of these heifers out here do not value their men.
Nope.
Does that make it all? I'm not even gonna go through the whole fucking. You're seeing being. If you cannot understand and comprehend the words coming out of my mouth, then you're fucking slow.
Yep.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to explain something I've done time and time again. If you can't get it and you don't understand it, then it's on you. Get butthurt. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm going back to my not giving a fuck ways. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely one of those I'm not giving a fuck broadcasts. So I'm warning motherfuckers. Facts over feelings. I had a discussion with my boy Darren. He was on the last show. That's my brother. Everybody says Trump's racist. I don't care. You're telling me the other presidents weren't? Okay. A lot of motherfuckers want to vote for Trump or vote for Biden. A lot of you really just want to vote for him because your woman make you. You know what, Chaos? We're gonna tell the real fucking truth. A lot of black men in their fucking households have no power.
Nope.
You can't even stand up to your own goddamn girlfriends, your own wives, and say, I'm voting for who the fuck I want to vote for.
And they give me pushback to that, saying, "Well, I'm not gonna follow the vote." But it lets me know why is it you chicks vote for one side decade upon decade upon. You see, if there was something that's gonna be really tangible, you're gonna get some out of it, and there's more of us as a collective saying we want this. If you want this vote, then okay, we onto some. But to sit there and say that you're getting no, you're getting entitlements, which really is obsolete because Democrats don't give you enough anyway. So to sit there, keep giving your energy to one side of the party, they already know that they could just sit there and treat you more like a nigga all day, every day.
Let's kick it up. Let's kick it facts, right?
Yep.
Like I told Darren, I said the problem with the average black person in America, they vote off of whoever does nigga shit.
Basically.
Oh, Bill Clinton smoked weed and he did the sack. I swear to God. What's up, Sonny? Woo! I swear to God. All right. Why would I vote for a man that will put Cardi B in an interview box with him? That's not placating black people. You put a person who doesn't even claim to be black. The most uneducated fucker that you could find who couldn't even fucking conjure a sentence together properly. And she's supposed to be the representation of what black people supposed to say. But yet, you don't even how would I even placate to a person who doesn't even put up a black man? Really?
Really? It's really real.
Really? The most and see, this is the reason why a lot of people get mad with me when they be like, "Oh, you talk so negatively about black women." No, I don't. I don't talk negatively about shit. I just speak the truth. Are the majority of you overweight? Yes. Are the majority of you have poor attitudes? Yes. Does that make all? No. But the overwhelming majority are not suitable to be wives. You're mad because I speak the goddamn truth. You're mad because I have the ability to speak freely when you got to be hushed up in your own damn homes. I don't have that fear. Then people think you're single, so you're bitter. I'm not bitter about shit. Chaos, like a lot of people know, I've never had a problem getting women.
Well, let's say if that was true, what this has to deal with the talking points? I don't understand.
Nobody wants to deal with the shit because I can tell them, number one, I'm smart enough to know and to tell a motherfucker the juice ain't worth the fucking squeeze. And I'll leave. That's what I'll do. The juice ain't worth the fucking squeeze. But you know what? This is what happens each and every time. We get these so-called brothers, right? And guess what they'll do? They'll say one thing in front of you and they'll backslide in front of the fucking woman. You know why? Because they're gutless fucking cowards.
Yeah.
I said it.
They're afraid that this might be if I stand my ground, I might not get no pussy. Okay. And it has to be the way it has to be.
You gutless fucking cowards.
When to really say, see, it goes to the point you gotta be as a man, you have to say no at all costs.
And I'm gonna say this: a lot of dudes out there, man, are gutless fucking cowards. I don't give a shit if people are mad or not. Well, Charles, you gotta compromise. Dude, you compromise so fucking much, you don't have any balls anymore.
Or it's a manhood. At least be firm. See, the woman will respect you if you say no. See, a lot of men don't understand that most women that you guys entertain, they'll like that to a degree. But overall, they're gonna fuck behind you because they know so you have no backbone. Even ones that is severely overweight.
Let me ask you something, Sonny. What's worse, a man with no backbone or a man who went down fighting? He might have lost, but he went down fighting. Which one's worse? Because I know what the answer is. Because a lot of dudes out there talk some real shit, but you know who holds the power. A lot of people want to talk about facts, but they really want to express their feelings. I don't express feelings too much. I, I can be on the phone with a female. Oh, you getting back with this female? I don't have to get with it. I could actually have a nice conversation with any race of female and have done so consistently. When you have somebody who's acting like a gutless coward in his own goddamn home, scared to have his own ideology, scared to say, you know what, this is the direction the family goes, but yet motherfuckers want to tell the black men who are single, yeah, we should get on this accord. Nah, wait. You know, when you were young and you used to catch the bus, but the bus is all rowdy and shit and crowded. You know what sometimes you do? As much as you want to get home a little bit early, what do you say? Nah, wait. Exactly. A weak man can't do nothing but look. I'd rather you go down fighting with your sword than you be a gutless coward. And that's really what the black man has become. Oh, your mama black. Yeah. There are some talks that my mother and I had to have. What is one of the rites of passages I've stated for the last week? You have to surpass your mother as a man.
You have to. She's requiring you to. She won't tell you personally, but she's hoping to expect it because you are what? The man of the house. You always have notion.
Look what Q James said. I made the statement the other day that westernized females are not reared to be wives. Certain females had a damn baby by that statement. Of course. Of course. Because you know what the problem is? Because you brought facts to a feeling argument.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't tell me something about a beta male coon and you had a fucking baby by one, that the betas of coons, and yet nobody wants to check you on this shit. And see, that's the problem I got with this fucking place. Even though BGS said I'm officially one of the official Black Manosphere channels, which I feel honored, but I feel as though it's my duty to give it to you raw and real and not fucking lie to you. My homegirl was like, why do you think you're so high tier? I don't think I'm the most high tier guy, but I'm a lot higher tier than men that you know. But your room is in the basement, of course, because it's my house. It's a finished bathroom. It's a finished basement. Why wouldn't I have the basement in the room? See, but you didn't buy your house yet. I'm a war vet. I got a VA loan. You got to struggle. You got to kick your own ass to get into a house. I tell people I'm a vet. They offer me whatever the fuck I want. When I find a place that I want, I will buy it immediately. Then you got to look at it. I make $85,000 a year plus, and that's before overtime. So we have to look at things with a very understanding thing. I don't even have to really pay tuition for my son going to college because he could take my damn GI Bill. How many people could say that shit? And then on top of that, let's look at cultural. I'm a well-traveled
Look at
man.
that. Look at that. See, all right, everything already well set up, and these
I'm
chicks don't know it.
my man Sonny Box and Talk. Please subscribe to Sonny Box and Talk because he's gonna have some good content for you. I do think things will change because I believe that these are the last days we've been hearing about for years. Hardships will put it out on excuse me, hardships will put it out of everyone. Yeah. Here's the crazy part, man. Believe it or not, my dream is to have a functional black society. With functional black women, with functional black men, and functional black children. But as you can really tell out there in the world, people want the total opposite. And when you talk about the dysfunctionality, when you talk about the disparities, when you talk about the plain and simple failures, okay, okay, when you talk about this shit, guess what happens? You're the one who's the enemy. Like, really, I don't have to be the highest tier man. I'm, please. I never had to go to child support a day in my life. Give me my goddamn son. How many black men you know could do that? Uh, my son's college is basically done, with the exception of probably books and maybe a semester or something. I don't know, but my GI Bill will cover that shit. If he doesn't even want to go to college and he wants to go to a tech school or a trade school, that GI Bill will pay for it. But I'm not supposed to talk about being a higher tier man than what a lot of women actually see. A lot of guys in my goddamn audience are higher tier men than what the average black woman will see. But you know what you're told to do? You're told to fucking tempt yourself down. You ever notice when a black man accomplishes something, who's the first person to tamp you down and to talk about you? Your own goddamn women.
You know how they do that? They tell you, "Said that ain't shit, nigga."
Brother had a JD. One of the hardest courses you could do, pass the bar and pass every goddamn thing. Get a JD. He's the prize. No, no, he's not even he's the catch. I told you before, ladies, if you're lucky enough to get a black man that makes over $50,000 in this country right now, he's a goddamn superhero.
Charles, did you remember the same conversation with one particular person that talking about was pushing back when you came on the call? Remember that lady? That chick?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that I told you that she went now and she about to start making my fines only after divorcing her husband? See how life is funny?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, here's the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the question. You wouldn't have to worry about being on my fans only if you kept your goddamn husband. Oh, but that's cruel, Officer Faulkner. You
Uh-oh.
goddamn right it's cruel.
Uh-oh. Listen, let's go further. I don't want to be a wife no more. It's too hard. It's stressful.
Talking something that you're supposed to be raised as. What's up, Ali Empire? What's up, NC Worker? See, see, this is the reason why I said it's insulting to women to call them chicks with tits, children with tits,
Mm-hmm.
because it keeps them from being accountable for their actions. If I'm going to hold men's feet to the fire of being in positions of power and getting their shit together, you goddamn right I'm going to do the same thing for the women.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But it's oh, we can't. Don't hold us in the same thing. We're special.
Motherfucker, I'm more fair and balanced than Fox News. And we know that shit be lying too, right?
Yeah.
But here's the mighty issue that I have with it. You don't even get motherfuckers. You don't even get motherfuckers to give you a logical discussion. You don't even get motherfuckers to actually take the time out and say, look, kissing ass has gotten you nowhere. If anything, when a
Mm-hmm.
man kisses somebody's ass, you relinquish your power.
Yep. In a second.
How the fuck am I supposed to respect you? How the fuck your woman supposed to respect you? You kissing her ass. Afraid to make a hard damn decision. Good damn cigar. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my homegirl was like, but you never talk about what black men do. Yes, I do.
Yep.
Like you can tell when somebody doesn't listen to the show the whole time or all the
Mm-hmm.
shows
Mm-hmm.
because I'm the one who jumps down a black man's ass.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do it to the females, oh, you're being so harsh. You're being so cruel. See, I'm not the type of person, nor was I raised to be the type of person to pat a motherfucker on the back.
And
I
you
do
know you
not
fucked it
accept.
up.
You know you fucking up. And
Mm-hmm.
and and see, my parents never raised me that way.
Mm-hmm.
You reap what you sow when you owe. You reap what you sow, then you owe. Meaning, you cannot tell me that your butt hurt and you're upset because you're not willing to produce. I've told this to black females all the time, and I'll take a book out of Kevin Samuels. The way you present yourself is the way you say men deserve. Your men deserve.
Mm-hmm.
My
Fat.
homeboy tried to tell me, well, what about a guy being fat? It's different than women. He's
Very
like,
different.
guys shouldn't be out of shape. No, they shouldn't. But guess what? Are we held to the standards of beauty of women? No, we're not.
Hell fucking no. Men not supposed to, women. I'm gonna say this about the beauty thing. As women, that should be least of your concern. You should always say if the man's confident and he's doing being productive and all the above.
My man Sonny
So
said,
think about this. Let's go by that narrative. Okay, you want a man to have a six pack look pretty. Where has it gotten the community so far?
yeah, y'all more worried about the boys being pretty than the girls.
And last my check, bro, isn't these boys barely even going to high school and barely reading at level, doing all levels right now?
Let me break this down. I'm gonna read what my man Sonny said, then I'm gonna get on my soapbox.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny said, I believe the problems we have are more dynamic, meaning that the problems is deep rooted. The seed that has been planted and we all need to get rid of right now. Your facts. But see, this is the problem. This is the real issue. In order to cure the problem, you must know that you have a problem in the first place. How many times have I told you a lot of motherfuckers just want to suffer just a little bit nicer, just a little bit more comfortably? See, let's take it here, right? When when a lot of these ladies were taught you don't need no man, you're not building a wife, you're building a man.
Mm.
You're building competition for the man. So each time you want to be getting your little education, getting your job, being snappy and rude, you're being a man. No woman has gotten anywhere acting like a man.
And they're never gonna get nowhere act like a man. Because there cannot be two people wearing pants.
DJ Moss, LaShawn. Woo. See, no warrior can serve two masters. Okay? There's got to be a lead. There's got to be a head. That whole feminist partnership shit,
Oh, not fucking
once again, it's for the fucking birds.
okay.
You know why they say that? Because Big Mama was looking back in the day, cleaning the house of the white folks, and she thought the white women weren't working hard or they didn't have to go through shit. So she always encouraged her daughter to work hard. But you know what the fucked up thing about it is, Sonny and folks? Did she encourage that boy to read better? No, she encouraged that boy to be big and strong so he could go out there and make some goddamn money. She didn't give a fuck if he was educated because she knew with that strong back and them strong arms, that strong chest, them strong legs, can go make some pennies on the dollar for here and now. Chaos told you a story when the guy was supposed to get a full ride to a college. They supposed to go get a full ride to the college. And what happened, Chaos? The mother begged him not to leave because she'd be lonely. She begged him to stay because she'd be lonely.
Oh,
Instead of encouraging that motherfucker to push and to come back and bring our fucking community up, she literally encouraged that boy to be subpar. Once again, I'll say this again. Your father accepts your excellence, your mother will accept your mediocrity.
hmm that's why. This is why a lot of men complain about the space or anywhere where women should not be raised in children from 0 to 18.
Let me
Mediocrity does not build no communities. Matter of fact, it destroys and it dilapidates whatever
yep.
you have in your environment.
A man said brainwashing definition. A method for systematically changing attitudes, altering beliefs, originating in totalitarian countries, especially through the use of torture, drugs, psychological stresses, techniques, any method of control, systematic indoctrination, especially one based on perception, confusion. Let me break this down. I'm glad you said that, Sonny, because we're gonna get scientific. Y'all remember when I told you the differences of a male and female brain and the male and female physical body? There's a reason why they picked the female, because she's more vulnerable to the environment. She's more vulnerable to stimuli. See, a man, I'm pretty sure you, myself, and Chaos, you put us out there in the woods, you give us, we'll figure out a way to make some shelter, some fire, and
hmm
we'll go hunting something. Okay?
hmm
So we conquer the environment. The environment won't conquer us.
But
Women, on the other hand, their brains are not wired that way. When mama been telling them don't depend on the man, mama been trying to hardwire their fucking DNA, which does not work. Which, if anything, you made it even more fucked up into the community. You should have made your woman a little bit more, your daughters a little bit more dependent for the men. Because you know what? That's who the fuck you start to work for. That's the person who puts your battery in your back. That's who gets you up and motivates you. Because when you're dependent upon your man, you're not going to allow your man to fucking lose. You think these white chicks out there are gonna allow their man to sit on the fucking couch and do nothing?
hmm
You think those Asian women they're gonna put a battery in their sons' backs? But I'm glad you talked about systematic, meaning you have an established institution against you. You have a whole fundamental party against you. See, when you placate, and I'm glad they used the word totalitarianism, which means total control
hmm
for the people in the back. When you think about it, what's the two places they control our women? Through
the
the
control.
assistance and through the religion. No, no, no. Our women were absolutely the first. You got to remember, black women didn't come over here in slavery. It was almost another 100 fucking years, almost nearly 100 years before women even touched ground like that en masse. Because the only women that usually came over here, they were usually the slave owners' wives, because they had to marry some chieftain's daughter to get those connects. See, let's talk real history, okay? White people didn't come over to Africa like a dominant army. They couldn't even stay
hmm
on the fucking continent for three fucking months before dying of fucking melanoma, or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and the environment killed, but who you knew saved them? Same Africans.
Hmm. So they had to marry in, and they created the buffer class, which is AKA the mulatto.
hmm
Notice
With the
how they were
assistance
given.
of those same African kings, and he gave out his woman. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yin
And
and yang.
it's funny thing with Africa, 'cause I know a lot of people don't really look at the actual history of it. Right, I love it. We're the same, but we have to be honest and truthful that the problems they plagued back then, they still do today. They have
Hmm.
not learned for over
My man,
400 fucking years.
my man Sonny must be next to the fucking dictionary, the encyclopedia, the books. I like this.
What he wrote.
See, this is what I like because I could tell you I have some of the most intelligent motherfuckers in YouTube on my shit. Yin and yang, the way the woman's brain is supposed to work in conjunction with the man. Always said that. We're complementary. In order to work together, you must remember the statues in Egypt. You will see the man and the woman sitting together. You'll always see the man sitting on her left, on his left. The reason why she's supposed to be at his heart. Notice how in military cadence we start off on the left because that's where the heart is. She's the heart. She's the one who sees the emotion. The reason why women talk 2 to 3 times more than men is because they're trying to explain emotion. They understand what's not seen. That's why they can actually see feelings. They can see the emotions in the room. That's why if you're supposed to go to a gala, you bring a woman with you and she'll empathize with the women. She's the heart. A house divided cannot stand. We have to realize that even the women teaching their children these things were brainwashed to think now we have to figure out a way to unwash, cling to our principles and not someone else's. See, this is the biggest part. The truly cruel part about it is like the same saying that they say about the devil: the greatest trick he ever played was he never existed.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with a lot of these ladies do will tell you they never left us. They never turned their back on us. They never were brainwashed. You had Michelle Wallace eating off the crumb snatchings and the crumbs dropped off by Gloria Steinem. And she got shamed for that fucking Black Macho book so badly she went into hiding for 3 years.
And she should.
But yet, you ever notice Gloria Steinem stayed married?
But they talk about that it's all about women. No, let me tell y'all a little secret. The feminism is really designed for Black women. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
It was never designed for all women. You hear white women talk about it, but in her heart, she don't believe that bullshit. Because when the time comes for power, she better make that man be in a certain position. She's gonna play her role. That's a fact.
They're gonna play the fuck out of that role.
Yeah.
And you know what? And you know what the cruel part about this shit is?
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that I'm trying to help build a functioning society once again. But you can't say, well, the men don't work. I've told you many of times. I even gave when my homeboy Darren was on here, I even gave you scenarios of what the fuck happened in the community day in and day out. You're not hiring the boys. You're not even training them how to fucking get a job. You're not training them. They're wild. They're feral. But yet, you want the man to come back when you kicked him out the house or you didn't want him to be in the life. Or, let's just tell the truth, a lot of these times nowadays, you had a baby by a guy who was not really supposed to be a father in the first place. Because you know you were going to get benefits. You know you wanted to elevate yourself. And then when those kids get a certain age and they start smelling themselves, and you gotta physically fight and rumble them because you didn't teach them that shit when they were younger.
Yep.
Now you want the man to play sheriff and settle the fucking land. But yet, well, like my homegirl said, well, a lot of women have these issues because of men. Bullshit. Even Sonny just told you how you're brainwashed before you even deal with men.
Mm-hmm.
He just gave you a perfect example of what the fuck, the textbook example of what brainwashing is. But then you're going to try to blame the men like, yeah, like number one, let's tell the truth. Because a lot of people don't want to tell the God honest truth. A lot of females out there were, especially during teenage years, were more sexually aggressive than the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Especially nowadays. So you're telling me that you want to act like you've been a victim of sexual assault when you were a willing participant and telling the boy basically, are we fucking or what?
Mm-hmm.
But yet, you're the same group of women, and I'm trying not to beat up on the women, but I'm making the point. You're the same group of women who get mad at Marcus Houston marrying a 19-year-old woman. Oh, that's right. That's the how the fuck is she an adult?
She's
But
just a
yeah, yeah.
baby.
But yet, you the same motherfuckers. You the same motherfuckers when y'all was 15 and 16 sneaking in the fucking clubs.
Mm.
Same motherfuckers, fucking older men, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 10 years older than you. Same motherfuckers at 14, 15, 16, and 17 having babies. But a woman being made an honest lady, the way you're supposed to do it, is to court her and marry her. You got a problem with that. Look, that alone tells me how far we've fallen.
But Charles, they were never picked, so I understand the you know where they're getting at because when you're not picked, what do you expect?
What? Let's talk some real shit, okay?
Hmm.
Real shit. So, my same friend sent me a picture of a white guy married a 21, 22-year-old black woman, and he's 60.
Hmm.
Was there a damn thing said about that? But I had to think about it. The underlying root word is a black man can never be empowered and a black man can never be happy.
Nope.
My man Sonny going in. He said another example. Since people like the Matrix so much, you know what the red pill stuff. You remember the movie? A lot of people didn't know what they were in the Matrix. They had to be shown that they are, and the Matrix shaming and yelling and fussing will not fix it. It will only cause the same thing to go back and forth. Facts. Excuse me. But see, this is the crazy part. When you give people the Gray Faulkner Initiative to fix the problem with black men, remember, I'll freely give that shit to people.
Hmm.
I'll freely give that shit to people. See, we're about solutions here. I'm about women going to culinary school, going to etiquette school, men going to the military.
Hmm.
Well, Officer, are you telling me the women can't go to the military? Some, yeah. You're gonna have an etiquette because guess what? I don't have to take the boys to the etiquette school because guess what the military is gonna do? Teach you some goddamn etiquette and discipline.
Hmm.
See, the one thing about it, like my man Herbert said, black women are the sacred cows of the black community, above criticism and encourageable. But
Hmm.
yet, the one thing you know that's going to happen is a black man is always going to be held responsible for the downfall of it. But I'll wait. When the fuck will we control of it? It's like when we give you the keys to free the community, and black women still have the keys to free the community. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to want you to dive in this fucking pool, pick them up by the weight. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're still chained to that motherfucker. You're still chained and you're never coming out that motherfucker. You are not allowed to be free. You are not allowed to be thought of as a leader, to be respected.
Yeah.
Okay? You were never made to be mighty. You were made to be a fucking tool. But when I tell people, hey, black men need to get organized, a lot of you need to join the military because there ain't no real fucking jobs out here anymore. And a lot of you women need to fucking support them and respect them. I get the biggest fucking pushback. I'll get a chick like Cynthia G talking about black men never fought, but did you ever bust a grape? What did you do to support the war effort? But yet, thank you. Thank you. Where you at, chat? Come on, like, share, subscribe, man. Donate if
Mm-hmm.
you feel inclined. Where you at? Let's go.
Oh damn! Yeah,
And I'm
I'm reading this post right now. I'm
and
about to. Okay.
that's exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, Sonny. Thank you for saying it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. When the black woman's in her proper mind, in her proper place, she's the most immaculate. She's the most immaculately beautiful thing that God ever created. But yet, there's a reason why I have women, excuse me, ladies on my panel. Nicole Ali's a bona fide fucking scientist. Shout out to the Scientist Supreme. Please go subscribe to her channel if you haven't. She gets off work from the lab and she talks about how she's making food for her man. So there's no fucking excuse. You feel me? Here's a goddamn scientist happy to cook and clean for her man. Even if she's not, she knows she got a job to do. But I bet you one thing, I bet you the brother she with is doing his thing too. Because a woman like her will not accept anything less. Yes, there will be some ups and downs, but you will never see that shit. Well, my man Herbert said, told a young brother who asked about going to the military. So I told him to do so. He has a degree and he would enter as a second lieutenant. I know you ain't put the second there after boot camp. Facts. He would literally go in after training in a position of power. Fucking butterbar, a position of power. See, what we trying to do here is talk about power moves. We ain't talking just this old, I'm gonna complain about this shit. You see, people got to know something about me. I'm sorry, folks. Let me. I am Officer Charles Lawrence Faulkner Jr. I'm gonna talk my shit, but I'm gonna help you get out your shit. We're solutions based over here at this channel. Okay. Why did we have to join the military? Where else are you going to get paid and get training and get paid while you're training? Right now during COVID. I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
When all the jobs around you are drying up. Yep, a fear of war. That's a goddamn shame. How the fuck can you be a grown ass man afraid to fight, afraid of battle? You didn't earn your stripes and your honor till you battled in some form of fashion. Why do you think one of the rites of passage for men is to learn how to fight, learn how to protect, learn how to protect others, learn how to protect your society?
Yeah, bro. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
As I'm listening and talking, I'm scrolling through the Facebook and I find it very interesting. One woman posts here, National Plus Size Appreciation Day, curvy and proud. I love
I
every
heard
single
that. I heard that shit.
wonderful mind. See, we up to promote, and this is where delusion, and this is where I said it best, bro, on my channel. And black men, we got to understand. To black men that don't know, yes, we do hold a good set of the male population accountable. Because look at this behavior we have right here. We cherish and we promote and happy obesity.
We cherish failure. You
Yeah.
know what? If you're an overweight person, women especially, start doing this.
Hmm.
Doesn't have to be long, doesn't be short. Just start walking. The best way to get on your feet is to get off your ass.
Yep.
Look at that. Graceful, speed, fast. Get off your ass.
Move around.
Move around. If you're in Sunny, I don't know where Sunny's located. If you're near Sunny, I'm pretty sure he got some focus mitts, some extra wraps and gloves for you, and he'll work you out. If you're in Baltimore, I know I got my boot on, but I can show you how to work out. Don't give me that bullshit. I'm not gonna appreciate. Yeah, he's in the VA area. My man Herbert said in ancient Roman times there were two ways to die that were noble: during childbirth or during battle. You got to understand something. For women, their rite of passage is giving birth. You were never considered a real woman till you gave birth. But men, you were never considered a real man till you battled, till you put your life on the line. 4 hours. That's what's up, fam.
Okay.
Aqua Dragon 88 said, I said that to a lot of people are going to join the military because of this COVID shit. You fucking right.
And I want to see more men join the military than the women. Because remember, I'll tell you, fellas, women are joining more because they're looking for security. They said, I don't need no man. I don't want to depend on man. So I'm going to go in here and do your work.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Trust me. You think I'm not gonna link up? Go down to VA, or he comes to Baltimore. We're gonna tell y'all how to hit the damn pads, how to get your footwork in order, especially after my surgery, because you know your boy gonna be getting some deer antler spray. I'll get my Ray Lewis on and get another ring. Okay. See, a lot of you need to remember this, especially for men. Your dreams need to forever be bigger than your memories. Okay. I know I'm approaching 40 and about to get on the surgery, but guess what? Guess what? I just want one more run. One more run. Once again, I'd rather die on my shield than cower the fuck away. Give me one more run. Heal up this goddamn ankle and foot. Heal up this body and give me one more run. And bring the God of War out again one more time. One more run. How many people are willing to say that? I want my dreams to always be bigger than my goddamn memories. But you're not, but you didn't buy your house yet because the house I want is not out there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, trust me, when I buy one, you do know I'm going to style and profile.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Shit, you already, yeah, a lot of people already still jealous. Trust me. So that's what you need to do. That cardio, that detox. Like, my man, man, you think I'm not going to be in the back of the gym when I'm off this fucking shit? It's chest day any goddamn way. Talking about, but yet, like Sonny, Aqua, Herbert, Chaos, everybody who's followed me faithfully will tell you, I'm always the one telling black man, get your shit together. You know, you never talk about the man. Who do you think I tell grab power first? Who do you think I put the responsibility on the power first? Well, no. This is how it's gonna go. See, this is the reason why I'm gonna say this. This is the reason why every young black male needs to learn chess.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think without speaking? Can you play an entire game for an hour and not even speak to your opponent? The same thing with Madden. Ask anybody who plays me in Madden. I'm strategic with that shit. Shout out to my boy Darren because we had battles. He'll tell you that motherfucker probably got 4 or 5 moves at best. It's up to you to stop him, which is hard as hell. Same thing with chess. Can you sit there and can you see the whole field before you? See, what happened was we were robbed of our great generals and we were taught to disrespect the men. Once again, shout out to Sonny for pointing out the textbook definition of brainwashing, because part of that brainwashing and indoctrination was to low qual the men. My man Sonny said some men unfortunately don't know how to do that, why it takes real leaders to look at the Grandmaster Jay, who's leading our young men foolishly. I started playing chess when I was 9. I'm 48 now. Facts. I'm starting a chess league here. Facts. Congrats. You know why? Because all the battles are one of. There's some background.
Oh, I'll mute myself. Give me a second. I just turned my ammo.
Because I'm gonna tell you what. You know who taught me how to play chess? It was a Caucasian teacher back in my school in Lake Clifton. And one thing he taught me, I can't remember his name. I got to look at my old report cards, my old textbook. There's one thing he taught me. He taught me to always see the whole board and look at the reality it holds, regardless if you're winning or losing, if you like it or not. And we rob a lot of our young men of that lateral, horizontal, and that panoramic vision. We fail them. Excuse me. Grab a little squig of water. Ah, there we go. We've robbed them of being proper gentlemen. And when you do so, when you start your first tournament, have them wear dress clothes. Have them wear suits. And take pictures and please post because I will share. Because we rob our young men off of leadership positions because we don't encourage chess, we don't encourage boxing, we don't encourage wrestling. If it was up to me, I would get rid of a lot of football, a lot of basketball. I would give you combat sports. Because combat sports like wrestling, boxing, judo, sambo, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, karate, savate, capoeira, bando, penny salat, and others will let you know where you stand in the world. You cannot judge yourself as a great man until you challenge a great man. Or as this one philosopher said, you might have heard of him, he was called Ric Flair, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Woo. We preaching now, boy. We preaching. Come on, somebody get your friends. Tell your friends get the fuck up because we all know that one friend that needs to hear this shit. We need about 20 more fucking people in this motherfucker watching. See, I don't give a damn. People like me, they hate me. Not everybody got it to donate all the time. I know that. See, what I'm here is teaching people. I'm bestowing knowledge that great men bestowed upon me because knowledge is not to be kept. It's to be cultivated. See, this is the reason why your black men have failed. Because we do not cultivate shit and we allow pussy to override our power. I'll buy that for a vow. You put everything above your power. And you wonder why you go down to a child custody or a child support case and you're getting railroaded. Number one, you didn't do any of the steps that I told you that as a man. You're only as strong as the goddamn army that supports you. When a police officer go out there and he's in a fight for his life and his gun and he calls out a signal 13, all he's got to do is keep that fight going. He doesn't even have to beat the man because he knows help is on the fucking way. It's like going out there in the fucking streets and your boy or your big brother's backing you up. Feel like you could take on the fucking world, don't you? See, I appreciate that, Sonny. Woo. See, men got away from talking like how men are supposed to. And you know what women got away from? Being a good number fucking two. Being a good executive officer, listening to the commander, and carrying out those orders as such. I bet you that ruffles some feathers. As soon as I said that, you know my viewer count went down, right?
Oh yeah, it did. It did.
So why do we got to play another two? But guess what? I'll hear married women that say, my mother and my grandmother taught me how to raise. I don't have to listen to no man. And then you wonder why you're in the desolate fucking godless and loveless marriage you're in now. Because you listen to a bunch of old biddies who couldn't keep a man to tell you how to keep your man. Pick a struggle. Well, I don't want my son to go to the military. Then guess what? You're part of the fucking problem. And you should be dealt with accordingly. Nothing violent, of course, but you should be shamed. Just like you want to shame men into doing right, you should be shamed. Any damn woman that talks about holding her son back because of her selfish ass ideals is a part of a fucking enemy's plan. You'll never hear no white woman talk about her son can't join the military, can't join the police department, can't join the fire department, can't go to college. You know why? Because those are great fucking honors. Great fucking honors, man. We don't even have honorable positions for our own goddamn men anymore in the community. How can I tell? Even when you go to some of these churches, some of these preachers don't even honestly tell the truth. Shout out to my boy, Dr. Reverend Burl Whipple, Morehouse brother. Knew him since I was in K4. We actually had the same birthday, April 1st. You know what he told women in his congregation? When you go home, there's 3 things you need to do for your husband. You love, you honor, you obey. How about that? Well, why can't I do that? Well, he lost his job. Yes, that's when the commander's wounded. That's when the executive officer is supposed to step up. Oh, I'm not supposed to take care of no man. Why the fuck you get married? Why the fuck you in a relationship? It's fine when he's taking care of you, but then you don't want nobody to talk about your selfish ass. Oh, hashtag facts over feelings. We're making a shirt out of that. I might have to sell some merchandise from this motherfucker. We're gonna make shirts out of that shit. Hashtag facts over feelings. But he lost his job and he's down. Then you're supposed to pick the motherfucker back up. You're supposed to hold it down and make sure he comes back bigger, stronger, and better than ever. Because if that man was carrying the goddamn family and the community on his back, the least you could do is help him out. But because you don't have this respect for your man, because you don't love, honor, and obey, you look at him as a goddamn tool. You look at him as like a mule. You think once he becomes broken by the society and broken down from work, if he loses his job, you think you could get a fucking new one. They can try. They can try. But yet, you still have the most refined men, especially in the 70s. You had brothers like Dr. Huey P. Newton. I get so angry when people don't put respect on his goddamn name and go by his proper goddamn title that he earned. My man says, "Shit, get me a hoodie with the words facts over feelings, and I'll definitely buy that." Fuck yeah, facts, man, facts. We're coming out with that shit. I'm gonna have to tell my boy Sean, look, get that goddamn shirt and the hoodie shit ready. See, this is the point that people don't talk about, and they don't listen to shit like this. When I'm telling you how to rebuild your fucking community. Bet you some of you young brothers who teenagers to your early 20s, if a motherfucker was gearing you up to say, look, bruh, even if you're in your fucking early 30s, you're still young enough to join. Get those goddamn.
To be honest with you, bro, can I get you a little secret? I know for a man right now. Let me lower the volume because you didn't hear the background because the volume was on. I know for a man that he joined at age 45. And he's a decade older than you, Charles. So when black man, and it could tell you the resilience, and if you keep yourself up to par, you could join as old as this. And mind you, he's not born in America, bro. So when they time I say that, after a certain age, you might be done for, don't have to still attempt to go to the military, that's a lie. Matter of fact, as a black man, you have a certain more lifespan of any age to join the military than other races of men.
And guess what? I'll actually tell you some true shit. Do you know how many races envy us because they're like, dude, it seems like you motherfuckers age backwards. Hello.
Oh,
but you don't want these positions of power because you might offend the women. You know what's funny? When you actually get in those positions of power, those women gotta help. They can't help but to respect you.
Yep.
Because when you carry yourself and you're in the pristine shape that you can be, and you can have that standard to say, sweetheart, I love you, but in order for us to go and make this official, you got to lose 30, 40 pounds. We ain't going to accept that. Take me as I am, because you sure as hell wouldn't do it for me.
Yep.
And matter of fact, if you're willing to be with me, I'll actually train you to do it. Imagine that type of power black men will have over their women.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't talk about power solutions over here. Bullshit. 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 Even my friends, oh, you hate black women. No, I don't. I said, for a guy who hates black women, why is it that I've dated every complexion of black woman known to man? Why is it that I never had to pay the simp tax to date the women? I told my ex one time when we were talking, I'm used to my exes doing this and buying me this and buying me that. I said, you know the reason why I didn't have to do it? Why? Because I'm a real fucking man. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay those taxes. I never had to pay them taxes. You know why? Because a woman never said when she been around me, she never felt protected. Because she knew if she was with me, I'm gonna kill the fucking army or I'm gonna protect her with my dying breath. Last time I checked, when I sprained my damn ankle, I had two, three, maybe even four women come cook me fucking dinner. When I first injured my leg, out of just for and guess what? These are chicks, and some of the chicks were chicks I never even slept with.
Hmm.
So it ain't about, as the old club mix go, you got to have dick control. Not all the time, brother. Shit, it's about that time to put the link up, huh?
Wait, before you put the link, Charles, I noticed something I discovered. I lowered the
Mm-hmm.
volume down, and there was no background noise. But when I raised the
Yeah.
volume, there was background noise. You ever notice that? That you hear
Yeah.
feedback, right?
Yeah.
So if that is the case, before matter of fact, drop the link, and as people come in, I'm gonna run some music, see if this did something.
If it's possible, give me some jazzy shit because this cigar and this nice water out here and it's nice outside. I'm chilling and gigging and jigging in the left and the right.
Yeah. Well, let's not cross our fingers yet. Let me see
And
if
that's
this really.
hopefully. And let me
Hopefully,
answer
but.
this question: would I ever move to Africa?
Mm-hmm.
Uh there's a possibility
Mm-hmm.
because I'm gonna tell you what. Your boy's gonna get a retirement out of doing what he does, and he wants to maximize his money. And the amount of money I will get in retirement, I will literally live like a king in the continent.
Yeah.
So if I pick the right place in the right area where I can start a business and actually not be a leech to the system, and actually bring jobs and entrepreneurship to the area, I wouldn't mind.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have to
But
be a
for now,
calculated move.
but like I said, we here in America now. We try to do the best we can for our brothers and sisters. Until then, well, it's a little long think right now. Not leaving
Oh yeah.
anything, but right now, I tell Black man, you're a fighter here. You got to do what you can here. You got to set your presence. So that way, once you go out in the real world, it's gonna be known that you set a present not only in America but globally. Cause remember,
Mm-hmm.
you're the last group. We're the last group of Black people that have never run for a fight. This
Mm-hmm.
system really kindly doesn't mind Black people in America start escaping. Cause once this Black man start escaping, that's when he knows it will. And this is me. Yeah, could fight me on this. That's when it'll probably be possibly a wrap
Mm-hmm.
because he knows there's no fight left.
I'm gonna put it to you
Remember,
this way: we're a
yep,
group of ass kickers. We're a group of ass kickers. We are
yes.
like we are like a whole group of fucking Jonin. Remember for all my anime heads, remember in Naruto with the Kona Crush? And you know what? How many of y'all want me to do an episode of Naruto and just dissect it down from the military science that it is? Which I like
Mm-hmm.
that because I'm gonna tell you what. Well, Kona Crush showed you that everybody had their clans, but you know what happened when they were attacked? We are all Konoharu. We are all Hidden Leaf. Why is it that a fucking anime got it right, but we don't? You think?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Oh yeah, brothers do need to run for public office because right now you're losing 6-1 to the women. Do you think the women are gonna listen to you about child support, child custody when they got people that they fucking you know put in office? They paid their way to play.
I
Remember,
guess.
seeing who wants to be on the channel. We're gonna have a panel. I want to hear people's voices on this shit. Since we got enough people, come on, come on. Don't be scared. Shit, we're gonna have to resurrect the Coliseum a little bit. The spirit of the Coliseum. You know, I might get my trident and net, or I might get my broadsword and shield. Matter of fact, let's keep it funky and African. I want my cowhide shield with my equa. See, people don't know the history of the Zulus and their weapons, right? The Zulus were so fucking cocky, they put a fucking penis on their throwing weapons.
Oh wow.
They were so cocky. They were so cocky about their prowess. They said, shit, we'll throw our dicks at you because those are weapons too. Come on up, Sonny. Come on up, Herbert. Come on, Aqua, if you're still here. But yes, remember, we have a troll-free, we also have a troll-free area, fellas, so.
Alright, I'm gonna test the speakers now.
Alright.
So I can get out for this. I don't think it's gonna make a difference. I don't see it moving on my end.
You have a troll-free. Alright, in a minute. Alright. We have a troll-free chat room. So if you see somebody saying some dumb shit, I don't mind somebody disagreeing. As long as they have something intelligent to say, they can come up here and disagree. I don't mind that. Mental battle is good for the thought because guess what? One thing is men, you'll always come to a medium point. What another brothers need to do also is get some of these government jobs. Like my man Darren, he works for the federal government. My man Ali works for the city government. Woo, what's up, Herbert?
Woo! What's going on, young man?
What's up? What you think about what was said for the last hour?
Yeah.
Man, I cannot disagree with one thing that was said. One thing at all.
Do you think I was being hateful towards women?
I do not. You know, but a lot of what we have to endure is that people don't know, mainly because we're not as outspoken about it as we should be. And I think as a problem, it's like it said.
Yeah.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Mm-hmm.
And we are complacent to sit back and take our lumps as opposed to hitting back. And it's long overdue that we need to hit back in it. And if people, they fall.
Do you know what's so funny? It actually shows how much I love black women if I want to see them improve.
They don't look at it like that. They look at it, any type of criticism, they look at it as bashing, whether it's justified or not. And it's just like they say in Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. In order to fix your problem, you first have to admit that there is one. And because they refuse to admit there's a problem, they will never be able to fix it. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter who says it.
Exactly. And that's the point that I try to make it out there. If I love something, I'm trying to make sure that all the women are doing well.
Man, it's I don't, half of me, because of my age, half of me doesn't really give a fuck. I mean, I'm at that point right now. Statistically speaking, I have a foot in the grave. I'm 48. I always tell people my sole blessing in life is I don't have any kids, so I don't have to deal with it. And I'll let them know up front. Look, I don't give a fuck about you. Your kids, that's your problem, not mine. Now, the thing that puts me in opposition to that is I'm actually trying to run a mentoring program. So I have to be careful how I phrase that into who I am, because people will look at me like they did when I ran for the school board. One of the questions that I was asked was, do I have any children in school in the district? And my reply was no. So people would ask, well, why would you want to run for the school board? I said, just because I don't have any kids in the district doesn't mean I shouldn't care about the district and how it performs. To give you some background on how bad our district is, out of 99 districts in the state of New York, our district was 96. Any
God damn.
taxpayer in this city should be concerned about how poorly the district performs, because that has a domino effect on everything else. When these kids aren't fully educated, they turn into the streets, which in turn makes your crime rate worse. Just this year alone, this city has had 12 homicides. That's a 3-time increase over our greatest year. And they're upset about it, and they can't figure out why. And I tell them, I said, well, look at the common denominator of who's the victim and who's the perpetrator. Now, you have a lot of people that don't understand how homicides are solved, and everybody think what they see on TV is accurate. They think the police go in, get some clues, and the clues point to somebody else. It doesn't happen like that.
That's the one thing people don't understand: community policing.
Yes. And Black people as a whole, we refuse to acknowledge the fact that not only do our communities suffer, but a lot of communities suffer, and they refuse to look at the number of cold cases that have remained unsolved because people don't want to speak.
What's up, Ed? I'm going to answer your question, Ed. Why would they help us if they see us as competition? They see us as competition due to indoctrination, but guess what? This is what they really see us in the subconscious, the heart, and the soul. My hero, my brother, my hero, my savior. You think if Cynthia G could get an outstanding brother with a JD making 6 figures, she'd be on YouTube anymore? You hate what you love the most. Okay? You're scorned because you can't get what you want. See, I've been with beautiful Black women. It did not work out for that time. Maybe sometime during life. Who knows? I'm not bitter about it. My homeboys think that I'm bitter. I'm not bitter. Even some of the worst situations I've been to with women, I laugh it off now. You know why? Because men need to learn these hard truths. Your scars show you how much you survived, but they also tell the story of how you healed. Damn, that's some deep shit, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Should I say it again for the people in the fucking back that didn't hear it?
I think so.
Your scars show you how much you survived, but they also tell the story of how much you healed. See, we need to look at our scars as badges of courage, as badges of honor. You know why? Because a lot of these brothers out here go out there and say, it's so hard out here. It's so hard. Guess what? You want it to be hard. When you went to a challenge, you didn't want nobody to give you no easy shit. What's up, man? When I wrestled, they were like, oh, this guy, he was second in the state. He ain't whoop my ass. Let's go. When I went to Germany, they were like, oh, they giving you this Russian kid. He was such and such in Russia. Let's go. Because guess what? That's how you build your honor, taking on the biggest and the baddest. I cower not from challenges. Challenges better cower from me. Okay? I earned the title of champion. Guess what? I might be one of many, but I shall forever remain unique. Okay?
And I think that's, and to what you speak, Officer Faulkner, soon to be Sergeant Faulkner, I think that's part of what.
Hell yeah, Sergeant. Put SGT in the fucking chat, because we're gonna bring it out there to the ancestors and the creator, god damn it. SGT, baby. Can't wait to that day.
I think, to what you said, I think a lot of what happens with these boys is they're being raised by women, and women do not challenge boys. Men do.
Yes.
And when you live under the roof where you're not being challenged, and when you are challenged, you shrink from the challenge. You recoil. You do everything you can do not to face that challenge. Now, when I was younger, I lived in a housing community where we routinely played football. It didn't matter what size you were. And they would always tell me I was too small to play with the big kids. And mind you, I'm 7 or 8 years old, and we're talking about kids that's 13, 14, and 15. I'm like, let me get out there. And the first thing they said is, all right, when you get out here and you get knocked on your ass, you better not cry.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the real women back in the day. Shout out to like our mothers who would tell you, you better go out there and fight that motherfucker.
Yep.
You ain't getting your respect if you run in this house.
Yep.
She had a belt, bat, stick, extension cord, something in her hand.
Yeah.
You ain't coming in this. You ain't coming back at this motherfucker.
Good evening.
Permitted to run. That culture didn't exist. It didn't matter if you got your ass whooped. You know, if you won or not, you gonna stand there and fight like you a man.
Hey, Lone Lion, did you try your audio yet?
Yo, hello, 1 2 1 2.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Lone Lion.
I'm on. How y'all doing this evening?
Hey, how you doing? That's your name in the chat?
Yeah, that's my name in the chat. Lone Lion Mills.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. I'm just chiming in. I appreciate the content. These are valid points, and I explore the rhetoric in the what they so called the manosphere, YouTube, red pill, whatever it is, and it's a lot of valid points, and I appreciate that you brothers are attacking the issues of what destroys the minds of these young boys at such a young age that doesn't allow them to get out here in the world and dice things up how they should.
I can tell you if you had anything else to say.
Oh no, it's just out of all the things that's going on in the world, regardless how we look at it, this life is as much as yours as it is mine, and how we maintain it is a direct reflection of us. When I see the things that go on in the Black community, I'm a 29-year-old male and I farm, and none of my peers farm. They know nothing about agriculture. They know nothing about how to grow their own food. Everyone's totally dependent on corner stores and dollar stores and eating unhealthy. And I was just chiming in to the point where you say, like no one's fit, no one has any tactics, no one has any resources, and it's a severe imbalance of where people focus is. Like my generation, they rather go out every weekend, waste money, strip clubs, all that stuff, rather than you got people on this side, training their kids or going shooting for the weekend or going hunting, or just valuable skills that I just see not being instilled in these young boys. But you see them on TikTok and YouTube doing these dumbass dances and just not really preparing for what's coming. And it's the perfect mind state to be in, to be captured and eliminated.
Do you know how valuable of a resource you would be to anybody's group?
And I am, and it's like for those who really see, they see, they see and they accept it, and it's not no go along and get along. Not just me farming. I farm. That's just one thing that I do. That's just one skill I know I do with my hands. I don't know how to build a house. I don't know carpentry, I put that out there, but I can grow food. I could build some damn shelter in the wood with some sticks and leaves or something, or some logs of wood. I definitely do it if it needs to be done, and that's something that I shall be getting on, learning just from older men around me, taking out the time to surround myself in those environments to even learn that, rather than go hang out or go trick off on some woman or something. It's too much out here to be done, and a lot of our people not ready, and some of them don't want to be. They want to lay around the Netflix. Quarantine showed me a lot of what people doing when they in the damn house with nothing but time on their hands. Like it's man.
And this is a young brother. This is a young brother who's already complaining, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
If a lady gets with you, do y'all teach your kids farming?
Yeah,
You taught them a
that's
skill that could carry through generations.
yeah, yeah, and it's crazy. It's like I'm in the city I'm not from. Like I have no problem throwing my location out there. Nobody know my real name, but I moved from Cleveland, Ohio to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I made a
Hmm.
D. I made a pit stop in Georgia to scout the area, scout the radius, see, which was the most suitable place that I, could thrive at, whatnot. So I chose Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's a beautiful city, nestled like in the mountains. And when I came down here, I didn't know shit about farming. I'm from the city, inner city, Cleveland, Ohio, and that's a whole nother story. Just growing up in the inner
Shout out
city.
to Bone Thugs.
Yeah, yeah, but it's a just the challenges growing up in the inner city, single mother, raised by a single mother. Just so many challenges that are unnecessary when you have women that are stubborn, or women who did not foresee what welfare would do. And it was a song by Gladius Knight, Mr. Welfare Man. If you guys are hip to that song, and she came out with that back then, talking about is welfare just being a trap, and and
Hmm.
so many of us, like, what's a $600 check a month, or whatever, 812, it don't matter. Depending on that little amount of money, and if you go out and make your own money or become a bit dependent for yourself, they lower it. And then it's just a game that I just see play with that whole system, from relatives being on it, whatnot. And it's just they still in the projects now, 60, 50 years old, 60 years old. You got entire generations being birthed in projects, living a legacy in the projects, living and dying in the projects. And man, it's a sad case for those who care about it. But I'm at the point where I don't give a shit about it anymore. It's either do you put so much focus into a dead end? Do you put so much focus in the family members who don't want to change up, who don't want to switch up, who are polluting the minds of their children with these videos from, if it ain't gang banging on the males end with the music, with the influential artists that these little kids look up to, if it ain't gang banging, it's pussy, it's selling pussy on the other, with females. So with the music, unless there are people in positions of power, as you say, to actually make the change, the shit ain't gonna change. Shit ain't gonna change. It's just something that's just gonna be on the table to spin around to talk about.
Oh yeah, you got to think about it, man. One of the greatest gifts I gave my friends was teaching them how to shoot,
Hmm.
because it could save your life. It could save your family's life. See, I will say it. I'm pro Second Amendment. I look at black people weird if you don't own guns. Nigga,
Hmm.
what? You live in
Hmm.
what type of world? Nigga, really? I would not be born, because my grandfather said the Klan tried to take the family farm in Windsor, North Carolina. He said, "Shit, there was 12 of us because they needed us for two reasons. They needed us for help on the farm, and they needed trigger pullers."
Hmm.
Okay, there was no qualms about an 11-year-old boy or girl busting a fucking cap in your ass.
Yeah,
Oh, they.
it's nothing wrong with them being armed with the right training, but with the attention and the energy of them shooting at each other, that's stupid shit. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't condone that on any level. Like I say, it's nothing wrong with them being presented. It's nothing wrong with them being armed and skillfully able to use the weapon, load it, reload it, make sure they putting the right bullets in, break it down. No proper stances when they shooting. Know how to handle the recoil from the firing of the gun. Instead of these little kids out here just shooting up everything, just writing chicken scratch with bullets all over the damn place.
Mm-hmm. And
That's what
and
I'm
see,
talking about.
this is the part when we have a fraternity, which me and my boys sat down and said, we're going to start a black fraternity in
Hmm.
each one of these goddamn cities that we have. So guess what? I could go to where you are and be like, look, I want to come down there with my son, and you're going to teach us how to fucking farm. You're going to teach us how to do this shit. I
Hmm.
want you to come up to Baltimore and be like, yo, I'm having trouble shooting this AR. Give me that shit. Put this shit 30 meters down. I'm going to get headshots. See, people don't understand this. I don't shoot just regular targets. I shoot the 10% ones with the hostage.
Mm-hmm.
People will be like, and my homeboy looked at it, Darren, who was on the other day. He was like, yo, that nigga's icy with that shit. I don't use a scope. I use iron sights. Didn't even change the sights on it. The iron sights are the same way it's been since out the box.
Mm-hmm.
Bing, 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 bing. Headshots. Headshot, headshot, headshot. I actually made
Just
a
like that.
made a $20 bet with him. Yeah, I bet you I could hit him in both eyes and not even hit the victim. Brought it back 30 meters down, pink, pink. And he's like, yo, what the fuck? I said, well, what do you think we were prepared for in Iraq? Motherfuckers grab hostages. As soon as you grab a hostage, we're smiling at you. Because we know that red mist is going to come in the back of your head. I hate this. So when you prepared, we got to get my other men up here. What's up, Sonny? Box and talk.
Peace, brother. Can you hear me?
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly, like a Chris jab, like that Larry Holmes jab, man. Best jab best jab in fucking boxing history, by the way.
I agree. Well, honest to you guys for letting me come up to speak my little measure. This conversation has been a beautiful conversation. I like to add to it though.
Oh, it's always a pleasure when you come up here, man.
Yes, sir. So the conversations that we're having right now, it does have a lot to do with what a lot of some of these women, what they're talking about, of men not doing what they're supposed to do. I'm gonna give you an example.
Preach.
To talk much is foolishness and folly, which means it's like we're having a conversation and we're bringing up some great points, but it makes no sense for us to talk about it and do nothing. I'm gonna give you an example that I said this like 2 or 3 years ago on the Underrated Darkness channel. Honest to that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I gave a little story, and I'm gonna be real quick about it. There's it's a true story. I don't remember where it was. I could find out, but this is a true story. There's a group of people that lived in Asiatic neighborhood, like us, brothers and sisters. The neighborhood was run down. It was like the hood. You know what I'm saying? Graffiti everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You know how Baltimore is, where you can't play football outside because there's too many needles and whatnot. Anyway, these people in this neighborhood decided to come together because it was bringing down the value of their property. So they decided to work together to bring up the value. And lo and behold, they got the painting, they got the work as a group of people working as one. Lo and behold, when they were finished their work, their property value went up, the crime went down. They did what they were supposed to do as men and women in the neighborhood, but men were at the lead. So once they did that and conquered that, they was like, whoa, wow, what else can we do? Long story short, they put their funds together, purchased some land, and had a mall built where they purchased that land at. So now they've created wealth for themselves. So I say that to say all the problems that we have as a people. Now, when I say people, I'm speaking to us because we got some issues. So we as men, we're talking about a lot of these great ideas, but a lot of us, when we finish talking and it's time to go home as soon as we get off the live stream, we go back to living our regular lives, not doing anything to put into work these great ideas that we're having. This is the problem that we're having as a people. So when we look at the condition that the young man was speaking about with the young men, Chicago, Baltimore, we didn't do these things to ourselves, but we need to figure out a way to crawl out the hole that we're in. In Baltimore, you know, there's They brought the drugs in. There's a corner store on every corner, but yet the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. This is the problem that we're having, and without saying it, this is some of the things that the women are looking at. They're looking for some of the men to take the lead. We supposed to be getting our people together, voting locally, putting who we want in to power, right? See that? Putting who we want into power and have them take care of the issues of our community. The other people, they're not going to do it. They, you know what I'm saying? That's why other nationalities like the Chinese and these other people, they look at us funny because we sit on our hands. We sit on our gifts. With that, I'll pass the mic.
Facts. There's an old saying that I grew up with in my Christian and Catholic schools. Faith without works is nothingness. See, this is the
True.
reason why we're gonna have to start a coalition and a fraternity, because your brothers hold you accountable to doing your part. Too many black men have been good talkers but not good doers. And one day, whatever God and whatever ancestors you have to answer to is going to tell you this one saying, I know your works. And you want to be up there into whatever God or creator, whatever holy energy, whatever your ancestors, and be like, I was the motherfucking G. Okay, I held it down for people I didn't even know. I was dependable. Oh, that's a word we don't. That's a word that's part of the fucking rites of passage for men. You have to be dependable. You have to be honorable. You have to have integrity. What did Scarface said? My word and my balls, and I don't break either one for anybody. If I give you my fucking word, what does that mean? I give you my word. Hell, you can't be complacent. You can't be careless. Vito Corleone said it best. Women can be careless, children can be careless, but men can't. We are not only the shields, but we also the parachutes of the community. Once again, we're not only the shields and swords and spears, the rifles and the bombs, we're also the goddamn parachutes.
And to what you're saying, Officer Faulkner, I've asked this question on a podcast that I hold on Facebook, and I'll have to add you too, for Officer. I asked this question: are we willing to cut off the people that mean us harm? And I ask that question in all sincerity because in order for us to progress, we are going to have to cut people off who are either an albatross or they don't want to move with us. That means mothers, fathers, brothers, aunts, uncles, and cousins, because we can't move forward collectively if we have people that are holding us back.
Very true. Very true.
I think we hold ourselves back, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying that I'm not trying to indict anybody that's on the panel, because I don't know personally any of you guys, you know what I'm saying? But if we look at our condition as a whole, because our condition as a people is political, economic, and social. You know, the brother was saying something earlier. I forgot who was speaking, but he was saying, well, all we want to do is go to the club and we go do this and go do that. And there's nothing wrong with doing those things. But the way that the system right now is built, we got to work that much harder in order for our children to have something. we gotta begin to understand, like, in order to create something, it's going to take less sleep. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be peaceful. You look at people like the people who made it. You know, I hate to use uh, 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 Sean Combs as an example, but when he first came out, this brother wasn't getting no sleep, even though he was kind of grimy. I'm not talking about his griminess or nothing, none of that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times we get home from work, we're tired. You know what I'm saying? We forget about the young boys in the quarter who don't have no father figure, so their father figures is out in the street. You know what I mean? So we gotta begin to come outside of ourselves and go out and reach some of them young people and help inspire them, because we should be our brother's keepers. Now, to as far as letting people go, that shouldn't be no problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? You give a person a chance, you tell them the truth. If they don't want to acquiesce, then you just move forward with what you got. But what tends to happen is when the people see a leader out there doing something, that's when they want to start to come in. That's when they want to start to get behind what you're doing. But it's going to take whoever is born a leader to get up and do something. And whoever is hearing this, you know if you're a leader or not. Everybody's not built to be a leader, but when people see a leader, they will follow. And that's like, you look at Grandmaster Jay, and in fact, I believe that Grandmaster Jay is an agent, because his history and his background is too shady. And with any leader, you're supposed to vet your leaders. But he doesn't, to me, he doesn't measure up to a Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan or a Khalid Muhammad when it comes to a militia. You know, I feel like he's trying to spark something that's going to cause us to go to war when we are not equipped or ready to go to war. We don't have an infrastructure. We don't have economics. We don't have any of those things. But he's using the heartstrings of the people, because the people are frustrated. They're frustrated because every time you and I believe the government is a part of it. Every time you click on YouTube or Facebook, they always showing a police officer shooting a young Asiatic, and it enrages us. They know that we're like bees. They could just hit the beehive, and we just, you know what I'm saying? So I think that everything that we're talking about, I think that we should absorb it and actually put it into work. I pass the mic.
The problem with that is this. Even if we let's take your example and let's run with it. Even if we have a core of men who are dedicated to that cause, we still need soldiers. And we can only get those soldiers from the younger ranks. The problem with trying to get them soldiers from the younger ranks is the women have control of them. And it's just like something Officer Faulkner said earlier. Those women are not giving up that control. One, that means money. So if they lose control of those boys, they lose control of their livelihoods. They are going to fight tooth and nail. So not only do we have to fight them, we also have to fight the system that empowers them. And therein lies the problem. How do we extricate them from the system? And it's what you said, there has to be an economic component to it. So how do we extricate them from the system when we can't provide to the level of their needs for us to continue on what we need to do?
It has to do with what Brother Charles was just saying. He had a great example when he said, create, some sort of league or a club. Leagues or clubs, in the beginning, you use your own money, but we're going to have to seed into what we're doing to our youth. So what happens is when they see man like Brother Charles, a man like me, a man like you, getting out there doing the work, caring for their children, then you get the blessings of the woman, because the woman will see the man out there trying to do something that we're supposed to do. We are entitled to every nation is entitled to a military force. We need to police ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And work hand in hand with police officers, so that, a lot of things won't happen. But we need to take control of our community. Wherever you at, we need to take control of that. Whether it be you have an idea, whether it be a whatever your gift is, whether it be a chess league, a wrestling league, things of that nature. This is how you get the youth. The youth don't trust you. They're not going to sit there and talk to you unless they see, yeah, Brother Charles, he really care about us. Brother Sonny, he care about us. Then they'll open up. Then you could be like, okay, well, you can't come unless you get your grades straight. It's just like football. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
once you get into it, and you talk about, I can't play, or you're gonna get in them study group. But you gotta prepare for that. Have a tutor available to help them. Like, we have to lose sleep. We're gonna have to. Period. But it can be done. But we can't do it by ourselves. That's why I said to talk much is foolishness and folly. Like, it's like a block of wood pointing the way to go. A block of wood can do that. Point the way, like, go this way. But it's going to take a leader to pick up the mantle and go. If you look at Grandmaster Jay, and again, I believe that he's a pure agent, but he was able to get 500 to 1,000 young men to march with arms. Yeah, I do believe he pulled on the heartstrings of people, but if he can do that, we can do something on the level of getting young men together and showing them how to change a tire, or on top of that, when women see men do stuff like that, do you know how much women there's going to be? Almost like a pastor's wife. The pastor's wife known for getting it in. But anyway, Pastor Mike.
No, I do agree. That's why with the program that I'm looking to implement, I'm looking to target kids between the ages of 6 and 18. And one of the things that I want to be able to do, being that I live in Niagara Falls, and Niagara Falls, New York, literally is a border town. We are an hour drive from Toronto. And what I tell these kids is this. I said, just understand where you are. I said, you're an hour drive from New York, you're an hour drive from Toronto. You're also an hour flight from New York City. You have two world-class cities. Both have professional athletics. Both allow you to do so many things that other kids can only dream of doing. I said, but in order to get to those two places, you have to get your education on par. I know nobody likes getting up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to go to school. I said, but believe me, when you get that right, the world becomes your oyster. And what I tell them is, look at yourself as a grain of sand. And I asked this question to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know the answer. I said, how does a pearl get to be a pearl? I said, it starts out as a grain of sand in a clam's mouth. And because it irritates that clam, it's secreted with a solution. I said, so stay inside this clam, and the clam being the educational system. I said, stay inside this clam till you get as big as you possibly can of a pearl. I said, go out and forth into the world and let the world see what type of pearl you are. So that is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at getting these kids their birth certificates so we can get them to travel internationally, so we can take them over to Canada so they can see their hometown. Because a lot of these kids they've never been to the falls. And understand, in order for you to go to the falls itself, all you have to do is actually walk half a mile or a mile for some of these kids. But they've never seen it. Buffalo is 20 minutes from Niagara Falls. Buffalo should never be an excursion. Buffalo should be like, look, I got to go handle some business in Buffalo. I'll be back in an hour. Literally, that's how close we are to Buffalo. Buffalo is the second biggest city in the state of New York, but few people know that. People do not understand the political clout that comes to Buffalo. When Romney came to New York, he visited New York City and Buffalo. The same thing with Hillary Clinton. People, and it's so frustrating to me that we squander our political capital to the point where we don't even know what we have because we never explore it. So, like I said, the driver's license, the passport, those are some of the things that I'm looking at implementing into our program. I want to be able to teach these kids, to what Officer Faulkner said earlier, about using bows and arrows. And if possible, we can get them in the firearms courses so we can take these kids down to Baltimore and we can take them to a gun range and say, look, this is what responsible gun owners do. We don't shoot at people that have no business being shot at. So if somebody's not harming you or somebody's not putting your life or somebody else's life in jeopardy, there's no need to brandish your firearm. It's like Officer Faulkner says, walk softly, carry a big stick. You don't have to raise your voice to show everybody that you're capable of defending yourself. Sometimes it just takes, it just takes that look. It's like, look, I'm not here for that hoorah. Leave me alone or get dealt with.
Think of how glorious it would be to get a bunch of black teenage boys in a formation working together. Think of how glorious it could be. You know how many times people used to tell me when I coached their kid, I put him into wrestling because he has an attitude problem. He won't for long. See, a lot of people don't know my style of wrestling. I am a takedown artist, single legs, double legs, trips. But if you're a curmudgeon, guess what I'm gonna do? Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just hit you with throws and land on you.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not fun. That reminds me of up-downs in football. That's just not fun.
And you're still gonna do the runs. You're still gonna do the jump outs. We call them jump out. They're called burpees, but we call them jump outs in wrestling. And see, you got to do about what? And it's a 1, 2, 3, 1. There's no one. No, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. You're gonna go deep wall push-ups. You're gonna run with head to toe sweats. The only thing that will show skin is your face and your hands.
Dude.
You're gonna be able to do all that shit. Then, if I catch you doing something out you're not supposed to be doing, yes, I'm gonna throw you for about 30 minutes to an hour until you get it. If you don't get it, I'm gonna keep throwing you. And then we're gonna do what's called pit bull drill, where you're gonna be in a referee's position for 2 minutes. We're gonna start from the coaches to the heavyweight to the lightest. By the time you get to the middleweights, you're drained any fucking way. So the lightweights are gonna have their field day and whoop your ass. And this is 2 minutes apiece.
That's pure punishment, Charles.
but that's what it takes to instill discipline. And people
I
don't
have no mercy for people because that's what I had to go through.
Right.
And there's times I had to get ready for like the big tournaments, like the McDonough tournament, the regionals, the Oakley tournament during back in the day. Because if I could hit the switch when I'm tired, I mastered the move. No difference than in boxing when we're hitting the pads and some guy's taking Filipino fighting sticks and tapping your damn abs. So I've traveled. Imagine 2 whole minutes, a whole round. You're hitting up on the pads. And you can't bring your arms down, and you're just like, see, they don't have to hit you hard. They just got to get and that shit start feeling raw. But when you take that body shot right in the gullet, boom, they think they hit a brick. Man, when you condition yourself to do anything and you have the right type of motivation, you can move mountains. See, the thing about it is, through wrestling, I got 98 percentile graduation rate. Okay? Your school systems can't even challenge me on that shit. Do you know we have a all-male school, middle school? Guess what their graduation percentile rate is? They even beat me with 100% of their guys graduate. We have formulas. See, Black man, as the old saying goes, you are afraid not because you're inadequate, it's because you're powerful beyond belief and you don't believe it. You're ashamed of you were never taught like other races of men to wield power and to do so effectively.
Preach.
See, you got to go back to comic books or the comic book movie when Thor jumped up in the sky and Thanos tried to shoot down Stormbreaker and he threw that motherfucker in the chest. That's what black men could do. You know, when the motherfucker does something greasy, what did Thor do when Endgame? He aimed for the fucking head. See, how you kill a snake is you cut his goddamn head off. You don't waste time. You cut shit out. Okay, you tired of drug dealers? Get a group of men together, armed, and be like, "Look, bro, we don't deal with this anymore. We could give you jobs. We could give you training. We'll even fund your education. But this is a no-no." And you're unwavering. As my cousins would say from New York, there can be no bitch-made niggas in this army. See, we're ashamed to actually tell the truth. Frederick Douglass once said it best. It is easy to build strong children to repair broken men. I'm not that good at repairing broken men. I'm great at it, actually, but I'm even better building the strong while they're still young. Your future is what you make of it. Because let's be honest. You know that old song, "I believe the children are our future"? It's not a belief, it's a fucking fact. The way you raise your kids are the gift or the curse you lay upon this earth. I want you to think about that. And this is where the ladies have their parts to do. You're the first teacher.
Say that. Say that.
You're the first teacher. See, my boys thinks they like, "Oh, you hate black women." No. I love them so much, I have to critique them strongly because you have 100% control over who's born and who's not. So when you blame these guys impregnating you, you still have the fucking final say. You are the first teacher. If you're teaching your children monuments of nothingness, then why the fuck did you have them? When you become a mother, you said that I'm going to be a nurturer, a cultivator, and a teacher. The minute that motherfucker comes through your fucking womb, that's the contract you signed. Just like as soon as they come through the womb, the contract I signed was to be a mentor, a guide, a protector, and a teacher, and a provider. See, I don't let people escape with bullshit. If anything, I'll tell you, dismiss me with that bullshit. Because everybody's got a part to play. I'm the person who will constantly tell you you're only as strong as the army that fucking supports you. But we get all these people. That's why you do not get wrapped up in useless rhetoric. That's why when I had that troll a couple of months ago, you wouldn't say this to Cynthia G. I already cut that snake's head off, the first person. That was the first person who I asked. I'm the first motherfucker to take her talking point and use it against her. Hey, sweetheart, what's the opposite of a beta male coon? You know what it is? It's me. And men of my ilk. Men of my motherfucking creed. Men like me who are forged, okay? Like I told y'all before, you put that piece of metal in that forge and you hit it. You heat it up till it's red hot. I mean, fucking damn near yellow. And you beat on it with your goddamn hammer. And you form it. You put it back in there and you form it again. And when you got the shape you want, you dip it in that oil to cool it. Then you put a wedge in it and you put a little bit more steel that can hold a blade. You heat it up, king, till you form it into a mighty weapon. And that's what your young men should be. That's what your young ladies should be. That young lady should be up there saying she should be the one handing her man the goddamn sword and the goddamn shield, encouraging him in battle. Come home in victory with your sword held high, or come in honor on your shield. No goddamn parent should ever tell their kid, don't leave when they're trying to better themselves. Nobody. Somebody get the mic before I burn this motherfucker up.
What you saying, bro, Charles, is a very powerful saying. We got a saying in the Moorish Science Temple of America where we talk about the tools of the mind, and one of the tools is the hammer. We use the hammer to pound in the truth until it becomes part of every part. That's basically what you're saying. Like, we have tools that we can use of that nature. Like, I'm sitting here listening to you talk, bro. I would like to put you in tune. When you're done with your surgery and you back on your feet, I would like to put you in tune with somebody in Baltimore who deals with the community and deals with the youth, because they need a brother like you, especially being a police officer in the climate that we're living in right now. I really feel like together y'all could do mighty works, because with the skills that you have, I'm not sure what you got going on now. With the skills you have and linked up with him, because he got the kids, and the thing about when he goes and talk to the kids, he's normally with his family, like his wife and his children are there. So this guy, he's not just like a block of wood pointing away. He has his whole family working with him when he talks to people, which is a powerful sight to see. You know what I mean? So I would love to get in tune with you, brother, outside of YouTube.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm down. I'll just put my number in the back chat.
All right.
See, I'm down. When people talk about some shit, I mean, it's funny because I put my number in the back chat. So many people, a couple of people do actually hit me up. And what makes it funny, they always remember some of the funny shit I say. So just text it when you get a chance and just tell me who it is. And what makes it interesting is that I never say you can't learn from anybody. Everybody is in this together. Everybody needs to be the hammer, they need to be the heat, and they need to be the forge. Because in these next few weeks, hopefully I make it high on the sergeant's list, because man, a motherfucker needs some chevrons on his arms. I'm gonna dedicate a lot of my shit on the rites of passage for men. And there's gonna be some butthurt individuals. Well, I'm this man. No. Before you can become a high tier man, you must be an effective man first. Okay, let me say it again for the people in the back who didn't hear it. Before you become a high tier man, a high value man, you must be a very effective man first. See, being effective is no rhyme or reason. There's no good or bad. Because I might have to do something that the missus, even though I'm not married, or whatever woman I'm dealing with, or anybody's woman you're dealing with, that she might not agree. Well, we need some money and we need some food. Guess what? I'm not going to do anything illegal, but I'm going to go out there and get some money. Well, if I got to wash a car, fix a car, teach motherfuckers how to do shit, be a personal trainer, before I got medically suspended, of course, do secondary work, because to be an effective man, you got to do some shit where you got to be like, as the Gap Man said, I got to work up early in the morning, or as the Yosley brother said, I got work to do. What was that famous line Conan said in the movie? When are you going to sleep, Conan? I'll have plenty of sleep when I'm dead. There should be very few moments in your life except when you're relaxing and enjoying your time with friends and family, that you're not being the best fucking man that you can be at that moment. See, a lot of motherfuckers don't want to hear this shit and see black men. Oh, y'all complaining about black women. No, 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 no. We're telling black women be your goddamn best. Get fit, get feminine, get fun loving, get supportive, be elegant, be this. Guess what? Do I want my woman to know how to spackle a wall, change a tire, shoot a gun? Yes, but she doesn't have to if I'm there. Should the boys know how to cook, clean, wash clothes, sew? Yes, but he shouldn't have to because she's there. You're not a partner. You're complementary. See, a lot of boys are scared of leadership because you've been tamped down so much in this gynocratic fucking society. But even a gynocracy needs a man to lead it. That's the secret they never tell you. Even a gynocracy needs a man to lead it. What good is your gynocracy if you have no warriors? That mascara is only in DC Comics. Now, can the women be warriors? Yes, of course. But they're not going to be your front line. They're going to be your snipers. They're going to be the spooks at the door. Like I talk about it. You put some of these sisters who's on point and on code for their men and for their boys and for their girls. Guess what? They should be the ones in the school system since you're naturally the first teacher. Statistics and studies show that black children do better when a black face is teaching them. Am I lying?
Absolutely right, brother.
So why not put, just like I've debunked where women should be in the military, guess what? You make better snipers. You're great spies because guess what? All I gotta do is make you dolled up and pretty, put you in a dress, and guess what niggas gonna do? Pillow talk. If I made you interrogators, guess what? Men are gonna hold steadfast against other men, but they're gonna feel so calm and tell every little secret to the woman because they feel so safe and so motherly with her energy. We need to be silent.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
Faulkner, I don't want to cut you off. Just to add what he said about females being snipers, if you do not think it's true, all I'm going to tell you is go back and look at what the Russian army did with female snipers. Some female snipers were had some of the highest kill totals in Russia.
Matter of fact, the one lady you're speaking of, I can't think of her name. She was actually best friends with Eleanor Roosevelt.
So believe me, women can shoot just as well in some cases better than men. Do not be fooled by that ginger stereotype.
But that takes time, knowledge, and understanding of saying this is what you're great at. This is what you're going to do. Oh, well, why can't we fight in the front line? Because you got to fight a nigga like me. Take your ass up in that tree line and go about 200, 300, 400 meters. And as soon as you see me fighting this motherfucker fist to fist, I'm a duck, and that's your chance. Pop. See? Teamwork.
Let's talk about some of the women who, back in the day, in some ancient times, they were commissioned for special ops to be assassins, which means they would go into a camp and poison people.
Oh, yeah. Remember the story? Somebody remember the story? Somebody remember the story in the Bible where the prophet said, if you take me with you, you're not going to get the glory. The glory's going to go to a woman. He says, guess what? I don't care. That's a real man, right? He didn't care who got the glory. All he wanted to do was get the what? The victory. And guess what happened? That general escaped He went to that tent, to that woman's tent. She gave him wine, fruit, fed him. Guess what he did? All he did was fall asleep, and she drove a tent spike through his skull. War over. And you know what she told the Hebrews general? It's all over. You don't got to worry about him anymore. It's done. See, when you get, I'm gonna say something that a lot of these feminist bitches don't like. And remember, there's a difference between a lady, a woman, and a bitch. But those feminist bitches ain't gonna like it. Men give women proper direction.
Yeah, I'm sure do.
Women give men proper motivation. That's how we're complementary. So when people get into their asses. People get into their asses about, we can do what y'all can do. You're not supposed to, and you can't.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's a certain. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good. You're good.
I want to point this out though. A lot of the reasons why some of them do say that is, and it's not an indictment on nobody on the panel, but a lot of brothers are not. Some of them are, but a lot of them are not. I think that, well, I feel as though your purpose in life has to do more than what you're good at. So your purpose in life might come outside of yourself by helping someone else. Mm-hmm. Who knows? You might find, not saying you personally, but I'm saying in general, you might find the woman of your dreams walking in your purpose, which means a part of our purpose should be to help others.
Thank you.
Which means our young men right now, they need help.
You need to say that shit for the people in the back that didn't hear you.
Yeah, I mean, there are, and I hate to say this, women, but most women who are the woman of a man's dreams, it's super hard to find. But there are some out there. It's just that some of us may not be in the right position at the moment.
Exactly.
So if you remember back in the day, and I want to use, just for an example purposes, I want to use Huey P. Newton, the Black Panthers. You remember how many beautiful, we could look back and see the beautiful pictures of the sisters standing side by side with the men. Mm-hmm. Side by side with the men at their post. And if it came down to it, if the men fell and they had to put in that work, they will put in that work.
Exactly.
So nothing is more attractive to a woman than a man at his post. And there's nothing more attractive to a man than a woman at his post. Those are the women who's when you're tired. Can you imagine Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King? But yes, all these leaders that we looked at in the past. Can you imagine what their wives went through, or when their husband came home and they had the day that they had? You know, their wife had to be of a certain ilk. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times,
preach, nigga, preach.
As a man doing his work, you will even inspire and cause a woman to you will pull that purpose out of them. Mm-hmm. Because we're if you look at the yin and the yang, because brother, and you said it perfect when you're talking about the mind of a woman and the mind of a man. It's different. Women are more emotional. You know what I'm saying? Men, we're not. But together and balance, it's nothing like it's a perfect team. It's the perfect team. So imagine if you get 4 or 5 couples like that. An example that I gave with the housing situation, that's what happened. Like it was families. And I'm kind of tripping. It's kind of late. I gotta I'm tripping. I gotta go to work. So I want to say thank you, brother, for letting me come on and give my demonstration. Peace to everybody in the chat. I love you all.
Yeah. I love you, man. Thanks a lot for the words. I'm about to end it in a few. Last thoughts. Herbert,
Have any? I sent you that first request, Officer Faulkner. I'll look forward to hooking up with you in the near future as soon as I can get. I'm looking to get a building so I can actually establish the educational component of my program as well. So, that's an always an ongoing endeavor in this city because it's so difficult to get support with doing something like this. That the only way you generally can get it is by funding. So we're endeavoring to sew that up as soon as possible. But either way, I'm gonna still reach out.
thank you. Thank you for the support and thank you for the words. I mean, guess what? Y'all need to share, like it. If you're not subscribed, please do because man, this has been some golden teaching by the brothers, by the chaotic one, by Herbert, by Sonny. Man, we've been teaching all for 2 whole hours, man. It's not. You're not gonna get too much of this shit elsewhere on YouTube, man. See, our goal is to reach 2,000, little by little, step by step, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. Guess what? We're gonna give it to the chaotic one for his last words.
My only last words for tonight's stream is, like always has been said, as I look, that you have to get out of your feelings, ladies. We all know the men, they're gonna do what's necessary to get right. But if you're not gonna be able to compete, you're gonna be left behind. It's that simple as that. Oh yeah, and I did put that on my channel. I might have. If I didn't, I'll put it right now. But yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave us with these words. Facts over feelings. Get out your goddamn pity party. Get out your you're hating black men. Oh, you're hating black women. No, I'm not. I've actually got so much goddamn love. I've got so much goddamn love for my community, for my women, and for my men that we are better than the sum total of our parts. We are better than the sky when it comes open, when that sun rises and sends us its warm rays to energize us for a brand new day, for a brand new opportunity. That's what this community is about. That's what this channel is about. Oh, there's times we're going to sit down and we're going to drink, style and profile, shit talk, and dirty walk. But first, business must be attended to. And I'm going to end you with this. Once again, get your facts straight and get your feelings correct. You either lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way. And when I lead, it's either you're going to lead your men with me, you're either going to follow, or you better get the hell out of the way because change is coming, and it's coming real soon. Woo! Good night. God bless.